Hey kids, can y'all hear me? Chris229 channel member. I'll start at the bottom and work up. I did want to talk about the wrenches, and there has been no privileges pulled. I don't know if y'all saw, and it doesn't have anything to do with our lives, but I don't know if y'all saw Bearded Doom's community post. Hey, Joseph S. After one of his Coffee with Dooms, where he was kind of upset because he'd gotten about 3 messages from his buddies that had been banned from the channel, and he gives everybody a wrench. And now he's trying to figure out who it was because he's got the same core group of people. And I'm sure it was just somebody playing around, but the people who were banned had a really shitty morning not being able to communicate with their buddies. So what I've done is I've gone through and I've hit about 6-7 moderators right now. I don't mind making everybody a moderator, and we'll work into that. All I want to do is make sure that everybody feels welcome. I don't think anybody here would bully anybody. I just know a lot of it happens on YouTube that I'm made aware of, especially when you get into those makeup channels, girl. I mean, I'm talking 14-year-old girls will take their fucking accounts off YouTube with 500,000 subscribers because somebody hurt their feelings. So it's just, I want it to be a kind, warm, low-key community. And if you're feeling like you need a wrench, what's up, Kathleen? And you want to share some links and you feel like you're Jedi caliber and you're not gonna, Mayor Salt, you are qualified. And I went through before I started. You must not have been in here early enough, which is fine. I was over at MC's too with you. But yeah, I don't want to deny anybody. I just want to make sure that I kind of regrouped it because I had let it kind of get away from me. Most of you guys I know, and I hope that I know all you guys before long. That's one of the things I put in my community post today. And I don't know the trick to get people that are into knife content but don't normally go to the lives, because it was such a transitional point for my knife hike, because I started to really identify with people, and then I was able to meet a handful of those people at local shows. And it's like the old saying goes, I came for the knives, stayed for the people. And I don't want to bring anybody in here to make my numbers go up. I don't want to bring anybody in here and lure them in with a carrot. I just would love for more people to come in and break that initial ice and say, hey guys, first time here, just so they could see the community pour out welcomes, because that's kind of what I put in the post. Pretty Fly, you guys have been here old school. I was looking at my analytics because I get a year-end thing, and I just came up for a year-end thing because if you look at my YouTube account, it actually started in 2010. That's when my daughter was in 3rd or 4th grade, and I had to set up a YouTube account so that we could turn in a couple of drama assignments she had, where she had to go down and kind of prank the Sonic and do some weird shit, and I had to film it, and we uploaded it. And then I used it for a skateboarding video, which is still one of my top performing videos. And I never uploaded anything. And then fast forward to 2021, Knives Live, I knew I was going to have to go live at 4 o'clock in the morning with Big Red EDC. Not Big Red EDC, Red Wolf EDC, my buddy Red Wolf. So I had to start posting shorts, which I didn't realize at the time it wasn't getting me any closer to going live. Thank God he had StreamYard, a free version. But I didn't post my first full-length video. When I say full-length, a 3-minute where I talked in it, until about 14 months ago. And I had about 600-700 subscribers just from Knives Live and from taking all of my Instagram shorts or reels and uploading them as shorts, because my title used to be I do silent knife content. And now I try to do one a day, you know, and if something comes in, I've had 2 sets of Knoll knives, voodoo scales, toxic carbon fiber. One of them disappeared in White Plains, New York. It still shows that it entered there about January 26th. The replacement set that they sent out showed up in Rainburn, Georgia, one state over, about 6 days ago and hadn't moved. And I'm thinking, what are the chances of maybe it's just the gods telling me I don't need to upgrade Lord Needham's kind enough to pass this on because he couldn't center the blade. And I don't care about centered blades because it's not wonky. But this has the regular carbon fiber. And I ordered the Toxic Storm just to make it a little bit sweet stuff. Scotch and Things, are you out, brother? Are you recovering, my man? I didn't understand because I had my phone up here beside if you were going to be able to join or if you were just laying low. And I really would have had something horrible happen to you and that PT-207 had shown up because you knew I would like take good care of it. I'm not a drinker, but I would have gone out and I would have bought a 40 and I would have talked to your family to find out what your favorite beer was. And I would have poured it out on a curb. Would have probably done a week's worth of 40s that I would have poured out into your memory while I sat there and flicked my PT-207. But I'm glad you're doing okay, buddy. Let me know if you've got everything you need. If you want to come on and chat, I wouldn't think you would. But that is totally up to you. But I could not believe, I'll tell you, first of all, I see him in the hospital or in the procedure office, and I'm like, well, that kind of sucks. And then, since I last talked to him last week, I've been secretly hoping that he would think the PT-207 was just too little for him. He's a big Strider guy, right? So I know he wants a GEC, and I wouldn't trade him even. Of course, I'd send him cash, but I've got one of the most desirable, rare, most recent little GEC drops in this little 86 Northfield Barlow and Yellow Bone. And I probably have something else you might like in a slip joint. But then look at that, dude. I mean, Mr. Big Knife, think what Satu could do. I could probably, if you traded me this knife and the GEC, I bet you, I'll tell you what I'll do. I will buy the regrind from Satu. On me. No holes barred. PT-207. You get a Tianto PMP, a GEC with a Lancelot leather clip slip, and a complimentary grind from Satu, and 2 free sharpenings from Kyle Coonley, because he's not in here. I'll just say that we will let Kyle Coonley sharpen your reground PMP Tonto Scotch and Things until either you or he have a 40 poured out in your honor to me. Jim Miller, thank you, buddy. Guys, you have no idea how much I appreciate y'all's support, the fact that y'all join the channel when you can, the fact that you all help out when you can. I promise I'm working kind of behind the scenes with companies that I used to love and I still do, like Kaiser, like Vosteed, like Savidi. When I say working with them, I'm starting a dialogue because I've been real late to the game. I've never been in it to do anything outside of kind of catalog and share my personal experience into this crazy hobby that started with the CRKT CEO about 3 years ago and quickly spired into an Apache case full of junk. And then Dark Gravity, who will hopefully join us, told me one day, he said, John, if you want what I've got, do what I do. And in this case, he meant instead of waiting for 3 budget knives to come in every week, why don't you forego 4 or 5 budget knives and grab a hinderer? Grab something you said you kind of wanted to try out. So, the way I look at it is I'm at a point in my little channel world where I'm lucky to have Dark Gravity close. I'm lucky. Pizza operator, thank you. The Mexican Pizza Fund. I don't know if y'all saw the release. It was Zach Stuff who sent it to me. He actually sent me video from the Taco Bell Apple event. They're bringing back the green verde sauce along with several other killer crunchy gorditas. But the whole thing about, for me, the knife game, it started so Kaiser, Vanguard, CRKT, and I loved every one of those knives. I look back and I try to say, do I get more joy from these knives than I did when I first experienced a titanium hinder, right? And I do. I get a lot more joy, but at the time I didn't, because at the time I didn't know. Ian Coates, hugs, brother. Paul Mills and 5 Door. I'm gonna say hi to y'all in just a second after I get off this rant. But my little journey continues to take me. Ian, I love you, brother. I gave you a virtual hug. I can't do the fancy heart hands that Lefty does, but I haven't sold my soul to the devil either, so I win there. But I just want to be able to kind of share my knives, at the same time share my buddy A to Z, who luckily, and I'd love for y'all to go follow him. We'll look at his Instagram in a second. But I've got an Oster F22 kickstop. I'm the last one to the game on that he bought, I think, from Alice Paracord. I bought it on NAS sale, and I'd never handled a kickstop. I'd heard some rumblings about the Chavez having a little bit of slack, but I'm telling you, I saw Needham just a little while ago, Ian, and he'll be back. Needham is around. He's probably over super chatting bees. He'll be right back, dude. He's got to spread the love around. But that little PT-207, to get back to it, I was so disappointed to see Scotch and Things in the hospital, and then of all things to be in his cold little IV hand was a knife that's clearly too small for him. I mean, he's holding, I guess because it would fit in his robe, because I thought when he first showed it to me, dude, please give me dibs. I will trade, I will cash, I will come put up freaking grain dispensers, whatever you need, brother. That little guy is very attractive to me. I don't think I'll ever be a candidate for an SMF. And I think after learning a little bit, which is very, very little, for one thing, Scotch and Things, if you're still here, this Strider has broken in like nobody's business. It's on washers. It used to have lock stick. That's totally gone. It used to not drop shut. It's a great knife. But anyway, what got me into this whole rabbit hole, and y'all can love me, you can hate me, but I did it for science, was purchasing the F&Grow EF225 off of Amazon, which made me really appreciate the design, which made me seek out 2 Protex Striders, and then this Strider, thanks to Scotch and Things. And I'm sure I'll get more one day. But when I go back and look at it, the SNG, the SMF, if I'm saying that right, I think is the larger size. I think it's the size that the F&Grow EF225 was made after. I did a video on it, ended up giving it away. But it's a knife that's too big for even me. I would say it's Marauder H size, maybe. It's probably that long. You know, it's a big beast. But yeah, man, totally stoked about the little Strider and the PT-207. I hated to see Scotch with an IV in his arm, and then the little fantasy of if he does pass away, God, I would take such good care of his memory. But there's no way that I would be able to pick up that PT-207 and safeguard it for him. Show y'all one more thing, and then I'm going to go through and say hey to everybody. So I was watching MC earlier tonight, and he had on that really big Midgard Messer, right? The really obnoxious one that's the liner lock. And I remembered I've got this Tucson that Satu reground for me. And if you can notice that, it's got the beefy tip, super slicey grind, has not been sharpened. That's just right off the grind. But anyway, it's a laser ring. And I was watching Neves use that big ass, not Neves, Metal Complex use that big ass Midgard Messer. And I remembered that this Tucson TS246, it's a frame lock, also has a threaded safety pin. I don't know if you guys can see that. I put a little lanyard on it so I wouldn't lose it in my drawer because I never carry it with me. But basically, that screws all the way through. And I can spine whack this. I'm not going to because I'm anti-spine whacking right now for personal reasons. But if you want to add that extra bit of security, you can. But to me, this is now a finesse cutter, thanks to Satu. I'm trying to let him get caught up, but I've got a Pena Bravo, a Hinderer XM18, get which blade, that's my buddy's, and then a Cold Steel 8010 and a Hinderer half track warning, and I'm in no rush to get them back. So who all is in here? We've got Jim Miller, channel member. We've got Brother Space Ghost in here. We got Pizza Operator, channel member. We got Snow Trog, channel member. We got Dwayne Letterman, brother and a channel member, like all. Demonaut 13, channel member. Jim Miller. And guys, I'm not going to beat the dead horse, because what I might do is start pulling the members, do a random shuffle like I saw Stevie do the other night, and then just pick a member if y'all would like that. I don't know if y'all like signing up, if y'all feel guilty signing up. I want to make sure that these knives find you guys. So if you haven't yet, it is pinned in the comments. Just leave a comment. If you were one of the people that were so kind to be gifted a membership, make sure you go up there and you leave a comment for the new breed knives. And then I'll show you what else we got. But I picked this up to try out and to support Loot a while back, knowing that I was going to keep it pristine and make it a channel member giveaway. Because I think there's still a few available. I'm not sure, but I haven't sharpened it. I haven't cut much with it. It's got dynamite action. It's a great knife, and I think one of you guys is going to, or gals, will really love it. So this is going to be the channel member knife, the Loop 10 Texas New Breed EDC, Clydesdale, put stickers, certificate of authenticity, reversible little dealie if you go to switch your clip out, and a cloth And then I would say, I don't know if y'all saw my review on the Tucson TS422, but I know you didn't because very few people watched it. It's a weird knife, but it is a good knife. It's a knife that I took a chance on and bought, and it's going to be the subscriber giveaway tonight, and it's pretty cool. Don't look at take it in before you draw conclusions. So what you've got here is you've got a stone-washed, milled titanium frame that goes all the way around, titanium backspacer, titanium clip, G10 inserts. I have no freaking idea. You can get blue or you can get red. They're both in stock. You've got a little lanyard tube. You've got these speed holes. But I would have loved to see wood, micarta, cardboard, anything in here except G10. But that's not what I like about the knife. It's actually what I don't like. What drew me to the knife is the front flipper, which, you know, I hate front flippers. This one's no different. This one you've kind of got to wrestle, where to me it seems like it would be a lot easier to front flip. I'm not even going to try to fuck with it. I'm going to reverse finger flick it. But it's the Wong design. It's K110, which, guys, I'm not a steel nerd, but I think that's Bowler's version of D2 or something similar. But what I like about these knives, these Tucsons and Wong designs especially, are the ergos. So this is a shorter, smaller knife. Let me get to my... what were you guys recognize? So here's the Voodoo. It's much smaller than a Voodoo. I was going to try to grab my bug out. Hold on one second. So I think when I did the review or the overview, it's about bug out size, a little bit shorter, but a thicker blade stock, a thicker handle. And I find that kind of pleasing because it feels like a tool, right? And then you've got this really generous forward choil that almost demands you to grab it. And then you've got that gent kind of swoopy poon and that nice clip point blade. And it is, I've done no stropping. I've done no sharpening yet. I've got the original box right behind me that this is going to go right back in. We're going to find a way to give this away. And I think what we might do is go to Ace of Knives website. I heard he was looking for us to send some love over there. So maybe we'll get a bunch of people to go over there, sub, not watch a video. I'm kidding. That's me, a black attempt at humor. I don't know if you saw that video the other day, but he and I chatted it out in Lefty's Live the other night. Watching Oppenheimer with my wife. I'll be back. All right, brother. Palmer Connolly. Channel member, what is up? See, we got Snow Track. I think I said hey to him. I know I said hey to Dwayne Littleman, 5-door channel member. All you guys, please go up and leave a comment. Even if you don't want the new breed knives, somebody will want it. And I've seen those. You could sell that on mass sale. You know, if you don't want to put up with the hassle, just pass it on to a buddy. Josh Branson, channel member. Demonok is a channel member. It's so, man, it humbles me so much to see you guys in here and to see my subs keep growing, because I've made all these resolutions that I haven't kept. And I should really tell you guys now, I've done it in community posts. I'm struggling with the comments. Every now and then I'll see the YouTube studio because it doesn't make a noise. It just pops up on my phone. And every now and then I'll see somebody, and I'm sure there are hundreds of people who've asked questions that I can answer like that because it's my knife. and I'll jump in and I'll answer a question, and I'll have this panic attack that I've got like 2,700 that I haven't answered. So I'm going to work backwards from like today, tomorrow, when I get in that groove. And if you've asked questions and unsubscribed, I totally get it. That's just a weakness I have because I have an atypical brain. It's not because I'm a slacker. It's just because I get too much going on. That's why I give a lot of you my phone number to text me, because I don't check Instagram messages. I haven't checked LinkedIn. I quit working in September and got a severance. I've got 159 LinkedIn messages. And I know there are offers in there and things that I don't even want to think about right now. I'm weird that way. No, I'm not. I'm so glad he's feeling good and he got out of there. It looked like it was just maybe a pre-up for a test you're having tomorrow, buddy. Scotch, were you just, I read Saitu's comment while I was driving, and it looked like you might have just been getting something to go tomorrow, or did you get taken care of? Let me get that. What is up, brother? And last thing I'll say about channel members, besides I appreciate all you guys, once you register and leave a comment up above, I'd love to have you here all night. I probably won't draw that till late, but you do not have to be here to win or claim that. So once I draw a channel member for the Clydesdale, I'll find you, because I've got a spreadsheet, which I'm going to show y'all right now. I'm going to pull this up, not to bore you. Then we'll look at knives. But I thought about doing this for a giveaway. Let me see how I do this. Go to that. Let's go to that. Let's go to that. And now I'm going to share. Not that y'all care. I'll tell you what I will do for you. I'll find you some funkier music. All right. So, see, I can take my members and I can export them. And once I do that, watch this. We could almost do our second giveaway this way. Let's do this, paste. All right, and then what Stevie did, which I didn't know that you could do, is there's randomizer, random. I've used it to pick a number. All right, but what he did is he took that spreadsheet so it wouldn't be, let me pull it up. Am I losing on y'all, or y'all just like, Javon, we hate you? See, let's copy that. Let's go to here. Let's paste it. Nope. Okay, we're going to do this. Sorry, guys. Where'd that damn thing go? Open. All right. Nope, I don't want that. I don't want that. All right, so I think if I get all these names, I might have had to do it as CSV. What? All right. Cancel that. All right, so we're going to take all this up. Guys, I'm sorry I'm talking to myself, but we got time, right? I hope I'm not keeping you off from anything. Feel free to bounce out, come back, go chill. So I'm going to copy that. No. All right, so what I'm going to have to do is go save as. You know what I think this thing's doing? It's about to make me go. It's about to make me go all Google Sheets on them. It's trying to get me to fuck with this this Microsoft BS, which I don't care about getting into right now. I want to open this goddamn spreadsheet right here. I want to copy that. It's not going to let me. I'm going to close that. Recently opened. I'm going to go. Sorry, guys. Give me 2 seconds because we might not be even doing this. I want to download that again. Boom. Here and get it. CSV, that's what I wanted. Sorry, guys. I'm on a back screen. Chicka Chicka Slim Shady, hotter than a set of twin babies. And the Mercedes Benz with the windows up and the tip goes up to mid 80s. Why is this not? There we go. All right. Open that. Cut it. And paste it. Right here in Documents. All right, so now I should be able to open it right here. I'll share so y'all don't think I'm just off here doing nothing, which I might as well be. Oh. All right, dudes. Where did my frickin' spreadsheet go? All right, so I want to take this. Copy that. No, I don't want to try it. I don't need to. I want to copy that. All right, Microsoft's hard hosing me. Save as is what I want to do. I want to save as. All right, I'm done with that. Sorry, guys. So yeah, what we are going to do is we're going to have some fun. We're going to give away some cool stuff. And we're going to throw some more jams on. And I wanted to go because I've not been to any knife because I'm not in the position to buy anything. So I don't go shop when I can't buy anything, but I do like to look. So I figure we take a quick peek. We're not going to do a lot of shopping because, like I said, I can't buy anything and it's just torturous. So we're just going to take a look to see if there's anything just killer that popped up at nav sale since I checked a few days ago. You know, every now and then you'll see a great knife, but it's just that the prices on the great ones. I feel like a policeman trying to get people to do right. There's a McNeese. That's too much. Maybe not. And then the other place I go, I don't know if y'all go to River's Edge Cutlery, but I buy a lot of my fixed blades from River's Edge Cutlery. And they just got, if I'm not mistaken, maybe it wasn't River's Edge, maybe it was DLT that just got some more of these micro Canadian 3Vs. These little guys. It's a great little knife. Let's see. This really got my attention today. If I had the money, I would have bought it. Look at that bad mamma jamma. '62 HRC Magna Cut, South Florida, Fort Myers. This is on DLT. Come on. I'm not giving you my email, bastard. That was kind of shady. So here are all the micro Canadians that are in stock. Keep in mind, the handle material is what drives the price. So you can see these as low as 124, as high as 502. All of them are 3V. It's just the handle materials that are different. Here's a canvas micarta. I'd even seen some for like 127. That's beautiful. Oh, it's raining like hell. Anyway, great little knives. And those are in stock. And then I saw I don't know if y'all are into GP knives, but I'm a big fan. I bought several little weird fixies from there, but they just got Spyderco Spyderco. There's a Protect warning, a couple of warnings, CFTs or CWS. And I thought I had seen what would it have been if it wasn't here? They got the Micro Yo Jumbo in stock, 183. I think I'll pass. And I didn't realize until I saw Duty's review, the Wii Quibbit is kind of attractive to me because it doesn't have that heinous bottle opener. That's just personal preference. All right, so it's evidently not here. Let's go back to River's Edge. I think it was farther down this. God, that's just a stout looking little knife. I think I like that one better than the drop point. See that right there? Fantastic little knife. But let's go back. I got sidetracked. Where I know I saw it on this page. That should have been. Maybe it wasn't. Where else would it have been? I love that. It's just a little too hot pricey for me. That's the Bearded Gears most recent knife. I handled it at Blade Show. It's a banger. I think this is a great knife. I handled Forest SLRs at Blade Show. But I thought, what other website would it have been? I'm sorry, guys. I'm not trying to waste your time. I was trying to show you something cool. And if I don't see it here in just a second, I'm going to all right. I'm going to instant. And I'm going to show you guys. I found this company. Tell me if y'all can see it. This guy's going to be in Blade Show if y'all are going to Texas. He is a knife maker out of Jackson, Tennessee, where I met my ex-wife, where my best friend owns a lumber company. I'm trying to have him get in touch with me. But I started noticing his knives, and they're stunning, guys. He's one of the few makers who early on licensed the Spidey hole. They have a Spidey hole opener, which I'm licensed to use. And I'm sorry, but I just really think they're sexy. Made in Jackson, Tennessee. Look at the hologram on that compound. Evidently, he's a young man. But very cool stuff. And I find stuff on Instagram every day. Not that I need to, because the last thing I need to do is find new knives to kind of oogle over. I like that. Have y'all seen that yet? The little Jacob Creates Lambfoot Mary. About twice the size of a chickadee. And these co-ending pins. Can't imagine what that's going for. And if any of you guys are into Asher knives, they're fantastic knives. Do not wait for them to show up on his website. Send him a DM and tell him what you're interested in. That's how I've obtained 6 of my 7 Asher knives. One of them I bought from Lefty. Look at that, Renegade. I love these Gentry Customs too. Anyways, love that Roosevelt. All right, I'm gonna stop sharing. I'm gonna come back to you guys. I'm gonna get in the comments because I have been a slacker. Who's coming here? Let's go back up to the start. We've got Chris. What's up, Chris? Double D10 channel member. B for Baron channel member. What's up? Fook Doodle. Thomas McDonald channel members both. El Cap Addict. What is up, brother? Yeah, guys, and the channel member giveaway is also pinned. It should be El Cap Addict at the top of this chat. Let me check and see if it's still there. Yeah. So I've got it pinned up there at the top for the members, and then we'll do something. You know, did y'all see JB's post? Were y'all in Saturday Night Live? I'm feeling like I need to play the numbers game in solidarity. I'll show you. Carco, channel member, my hero. Paul Mills, you're on the way today, buddy. You were picked up. Josh Branson, Homer Felites. Brother Ed. Mark Parks, welcome guys. Welcome guys. 1969. Howdy. Good to see you. Channel members all. Skynet. What is else? Skynet, yeah, I might have a couple of people pop in. A couple of people have invites out. You know who I didn't send in? Hold on a second. Give me 2 seconds, guys. With me, kids. Oh. Hold on. Here we go. Oh. I want to go out. All right, boom. Like this. Copy. Yeah, Dark Gravity will be here in just a few. And I'm going to get this going again. I do apologize. Enter. All right. So yeah, we do have some guests coming up, guys. Did you guys want to? All right, so let me share this with you. Let me share what Big Red put up. And I was not there for the whole thing, but evidently he caught a little grief for the way he did his giveaway, which I think is kind of crappy because I think anybody who does a giveaway should be able to do their giveaway. So anyways, he's doing it for the same reasons that a lot of us are. We see irregularities, right? So he put up, it was on Zach's. The giveaway with hate was strong on Zach's live stream today. All I can say, the numbers game has always been putting awesome knives in EDC community's pockets for quite a while now, and I know I don't plan on changing anything anytime soon. If anything, it gives me an opportunity to give out more stuff. Ask anyone that has went around 2 of my live stream giveaways lately. They usually get a little something as well. He's talking about when there's a knife off. Sorry if you don't like how I do things. I don't follow the crowd well and tend to make my own things. Been that way for 52 years. So anyway, I like Big Red's statement. And I like Big Red. He's one that brought me into the community, not just into watching his content, but brought me into knowing what people were in the community, right? So I think what we'll do, and we can do that sooner or later, we can do our subscriber giveaway, which all you have to do is pick a number. I'll come up with a number here in a second. Where did I put the fucking 9? Bear with me. There it is. So I'm going to give away this Tucson, and this is for everybody. This little titanium K112 beast. Ew, I just cut myself. Anyway, I'll wipe it down before it goes. So we've got now 73 people in here. I'm going to go get my new skin, and I'll be right back. Trying to bleed on your box. Same thing. There should be a big enough number spread. And all you got to do is pick a number. But there should be a big enough number spread where y'all don't like back up to each other. But if like 2 of y'all or 3 of y'all go to a knife off because you get the same number, right? Somebody will win and the other 2 will get something sent to them. So you won't be left out in the cold. And I agree with JB. He's been doing it that way for a long time. One of the first knives I won was from either him or KC's channel. I can't remember which. All right. So what I'm going to do is we've got 69 people. I'm going to say 70. So I'm going to get this piece of paper. I'm going to let Scotch in. We'll find out what his story is. Hey, buddy.
Hey, what's up?
I'm about to do a little numbers game that everybody hates. So were you in there for a prep for something you got coming tomorrow, or were you doing a procedure? You don't
Today,
have to...
yeah. I had a colonoscopy and an endoscopy done.
Oh.
That's what you get when you have a wife.
Oh, I know.
Going to the doctor.
I'm abandoning all that shit. I'm like, fuck that. All right, so we're going to go 72 people. So I'm going to say we're going to go 0 through 250 are our numbers. And I'm going to put a start in there in just a second. Hold on. And I've got a number circled. All right, so I'm going to go the numbers 0 through 250. And I'm going to go start. Take off, guys. That's just for people in the chat. You do need to be subscribed to the channel. I think she loves knives.
Who?
Your wife. Marisol said she loves you, but not your knives.
She tolerates the knives, which is okay by me.
I really thought you would have lit up on this. You just don't like the pattern of the Northridge?
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna look for a PT for you. I wish I would have. There were some for sale earlier this week.
I don't need one, dude. I do not need one unless I trade a bunch of shit. I'm not. Don't.
Now these guys are asking $200 over retail for them. So I'll keep my eye out.
But you like the size of it, don't you? That's surprising to me because you're a bigger knife guy.
I'm really pleasantly surprised by the knife. Uh, it's it's handy for around the house in basketball shorts, shit like that.
Did everybody get in? I'm about to throw a stop up there. It looks like a lot of numbers just kind of trickle down. See what Tactical Terry said?
Yeah, that it
Everybody
was
in?
like,
We got Dwayne Letterman's coming in. I'll give you all about 15 more seconds. It's 0 to 250, guys. 0 to 250.
you mentioned it, I think, and I was lit up in Monday night, Metal Monday. But what happened with? I saw JB's post. What the hell happened?
I think it was on Zach's live.
Yeah,
It was a giveaway like they do, and 3 people had the same number, and people just got instantly butthurt, right? They
yeah.
didn't want to go, so it's just one of those things. And then Jody made a community post that I read just a second ago that made me do the numbers game for this one. All right, guys, y'all ready? Looks like everybody's in. If you come in a few minutes late, we will give it to you before I give out the numbers. But there's the stop. All
Because I
right.
did buy my first GEC last Monday.
No, Chris, you don't have to forfeit your guess. If there is no such thing as a number taken. If you get the same number as somebody else and you both get picked, it goes to a knife off. So you don't forfeit. We're going to go up here and we're going to see who's close. And I'm going to show y'all right now what I had. I don't know if y'all can see that. I can't.
If 2 people guess that number, you have to cut the knife in half.
It's 111. It was 0 to 250. So we're looking for anything under and closest or 111. There's 113. There's 117. All right, here we go. We're looking for 111, 110, 109, 113, 177. 17.
They were, after spending months talking to Javon and Pocket Metal about them, I just went on GEC's website last Monday during the live, and they had a cotton picker.
I like that little knife.
It looks kind of unique. I haven't got it yet. They ship slower. I think they're walking it to my house.
Thomas, I'm not giving up on you. I just grabbed you because 104 for Joe Isabella. Crispy Critter right now is closest. Hold on. Crispy, he's recovering nicely.
Cotton sampler, that's it, not the cotton picker.
Poor Joe. And speaking of Joe Isabella, check that out.
It'll be my first since I was like 5 years old.
All right, so right now we've got I think it's going to go down to Crispy, man. All right, let's see if we're doing a late number. Nope. Let's go back up, make sure I didn't miss anybody. Guys, tell me if you see anybody closer to 111 without going over than Brother Crispy Critter at 104 for Joe Isabella. I think that's who we got. Hey, Steezer, you're awesome, dude. And again, y'all don't look at it as losing giveaways. Just this knife wasn't the knife that you needed, right? Uh-oh, you had 113? Oh, yeah, you were close, Pizza Operator. And I hate the over thing. It's just one of those things is, it's always been said, right? All right, guys. So, Crispy, what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw my email in here for Joe Isabella, who I believe I've got his address. But, Joe, just send me an email and say it changed or you've got it, because I was talking to you today. and I know I've got you in pirate ship. So if you've not moved in the last little bit, we are good. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? So, are you just besides your procedure, are you working right now, or are you kind of chilling?
I went
Doing
and
family
checked
stuff?
out. I went and looked at a couple projects the other day. It'll be another week or two before we get going. So, weather's been kind of crappy.
Because it's got to be conducive for you to work, right?
Yeah, they have to get concrete done. So, hopefully, like I said, by end of next week, we'll be ramping up for the year. So,
Well, I got suckered into going back to work for an agency that I used to work with when I was in corporate. They're out of Montgomery, and they're looking to get into the Huntsville market. So I'll kind of be turned loose to do what I do up here with the clients that I've known for 8 years, right? And just try to chip a little bit of their budgets away to feed my knife addiction till I can get, you know, I got blood all over me, but not on the knife. So did they, so are you like fasting still, or were you able to eat afterwards?
nope. Yeah. No. Thank God. That I think that was the hardest part because I couldn't eat it all yesterday, and not until like 1 o'clock today I finally got some food. So I think that was the hardest part of the whole thing.
Joe, if you're in the chat, I'm going to give you a zip code, and you tell me if this is where you are, and I will just put a check mark by it, and I'll make sure you go out tomorrow because I've got you boxed up. I've got both of these boxed up, but I know I saw you in here today when I was looking for our buddy. All right, there he is. There he is. Would you reside in a city that's also named a country, my friend? Joe Isabella, does your city also mimic the name of a country in a very nice, wintry, snowboardy land? He won and bailed.
Oh shit!
Fairweather Johnson.
Where's Pocket Metal tonight?
Ace of Nines, what's up? He's supposed to pop in. You know, they go to the grocery store usually on Friday nights. So for them, it's 7:10. He usually gets back about 10 my time and jumps in when he can, but I don't know if he had work to do. Isabella, that's still your address. Awesome, my man. Then you do not have to send me an email. I will get you sent out tomorrow, brother. Congratulations, dude. And register for the new breed Clydesdale giveaway. Just up in that pin link. Hey, on Knives, what's up, brother? Palmer, it's Austria. That's not doxing. Look who's here. Leonard. That beard? Dude, every time I see you on Instagram, you're like an eighth of yourself. You just keep shaving off little bits of me. You shave off of me every week.
What do you mean I shave off of you?
You keep getting smaller, dude. I can pull it up. I've got proof right here.
Oh, I ain't no smaller. I've been the same weight for about 9 months now.
Is it just because your threads are they're more wearing to your body? Dude,
Why are you?
I'm going to show this. I'm totally heterosexual, so I can do this. I can go.
Well, you sound like Max Headroom. How come Steve sounds fine and you sound like Max Headroom?
Well, I'm like, but look at that dude.
It's his microphone.
That's not the dude I met 3 years ago in Nashville.
Well, no, I mean, I did lose weight, but I mean, I hadn't lost any in about 8 or 9 months.
That's awesome too. We looked at that Monday night.
John, your microphone sucks balls.
All right, let me fix it.
'Cause
I bet you everybody else is saying it's fine. Watch
on
this.
my laptop, it was fine. On here, it's not. But I know it's your microphone because Scotch sounds fine.
But it could be our effects.
Sometimes people get too fucking fancy for their own good.
Do I sound like a robot-y? Because it's very possible. I could turn down, but then I think I get quiet. Anywho, I think I gotta speak. I gotta speak straight into it. But dude, I mean, I think are you picking up followers off this? I would think you are.
I don't know what you're saying.
Like, is your Instagram growing with people that are into the type of clothes you're showing, vintage clothing?
I mean, every day I gain 1 or 2 followers. I mean, I don't know what I'm up to. Only reason I know I gain a follower like every day or two is the notifications. You know, because you get a note.
So that was about a year ago. That picture was 1 year ago.
What?
And that picture
I just what watch do you have? A tag?
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
And that picture was 1 day ago. So that's 1 day.
Late to the bone.
That's last year.
That was surprising. I was waiting for him to come out with an X-ray of it in my belly.
You're looking good, DG.
Thank you.
So did anybody get in on a MASH 2.5?
Nope. I'm not buying any knives for 40 days. We'll see how that goes.
I saw your challenge, but I watched it and you never got to the challenge. Do you get to it at the very end?
Well, it's just I'm not going to buy any knives till Easter.
Right, but I was watching your video that had that title, and my dad called, like, there was only a few minutes left, and you hadn't talked about the 40-day challenge unless you talked about it right at the beginning.
I think it was in the beginning, kind of, just because I've tried it the last 2 years and failed miserably. I did pretty good last year, so we'll see if I can get by this year. We will see.
And I'm trying the same thing.
There's a Strider drop tomorrow, and I'm going to help my buddy get an SNG, so we'll see.
I'm waiting for Greg at No Knives to get back with me to see if he's carrying any, Strix. If he's carrying any, what are those things called? Yes, Strix production knives besides the 1 of 3 to Blade Show. And then he texted me back, the only production Strix I'm going to have are available are going to be at Blade Show.
That's not SNG fatties, and I really like that scale. So it's killing me not to buy one. But they teased a custom, which is kind of a version of a knife they used to do, and they haven't done one, and it's going to be really hard to get. So he wants it, and I told him I'd help him try and get it. We will see. We'll probably both fail.
Hey, Dark Gravity, you might have heard about this guy. He's in Jackson.
Now I can understand you.
He's in Jackson, Tennessee, where I used to live, where my buddy A to Z lives. Not A to Z.
I heard you talking about it,
Siemens,
but I didn't catch his name.
It's Siemens Custom Knives. Jamie Seaman or Simone.
Simeon? I bet is it Simeon Custom Knives?
S-I-M.
Yeah, it's Simeon. I pronounce it Simeon. I know who you're talking about.
Super nice looking. I mean, but he lives in Jackson. Ab doesn't know him, but he just dropped several of these thumb stud ones on his site.
Yeah.
But what I learned about him is he's one of the only custom makers that licensed to use. I have a Spidey hole opener, which I'm licensed to use.
Yeah.
And look at that. Is that a CNC grind? and switch.
I would imagine it is because it's so perfect.
How much are they?
I mean, you can be that. I'm sure you can be that talented.
The ones on his website are $850. Hold on.
That's not bad.
It has some knives. But is there 100 more value than a Roosevelt? The mini projects are all gone. He had those 3 up today.
Apparently, they are to somebody
Yeah, $850 is what
because they bought them.
Yeah.
I mean, he dropped. I saw where he. Well, I only saw where he dropped one of them. I didn't see where he dropped all 3. But I mean, if he's already sold them and he dropped them this morning, that's not bad. I mean, somebody likes them.
Yeah, it's a gorgeous looking little knife. I just think it's cool that he's in the Southeast, kind of like McNeese. What's McNeese's first name? Is it Chris?
I
think it's
I don't know.
Here you go, Marisol.
More John.
What's that?
World's full of Johns. That looks like a Dwyer.
It's a Direware.
Direware. I mean,
Yep.
Direware.
And I just sold mine, so it's a little smaller than an SMG.
You say that's an SMG or an SMF?
This is an SNG, so it's a little smaller, but it's comfortable. Like I
was gonna say, it depends on what you consider smaller. They're fat little chodes.
Yeah, it's
a chunky little monkey.
Tall, like he didn't. Who was I talking to? Usually the handles are really tall, and this one's pretty manageable. If he doesn't buy it, I'm not not advertising selling it. So, but I like it because I can. The detents are great, like finger flick, thumb flick, flipper.
Did y'all see where the Evos are dropping in a couple of days?
Yes, Santos too.
Yeah, I saw. Well, I don't know how many NC blades going to have, but I saw that they're going to have some
for sale or just pre-order. The ones that were pre-ordered through them, or
they're going to have some
for sale.
stocks.
Hey, do you know how much they go for the ones that they're releasing? I know
I don't.
Kevin's got a lefty pre-ordered. But yeah, after I don't know if I told you, Dark Gravity, but Lord Needham sent me some knives, and I sent him back some knives. But I had that Roosevelt in house for like a week.
I know.
They put a mark on me, dude. I mean, that's a wonderful.
Hold on 1 second. I got a house full of kids here. I'm gonna go, dude. What, John? You had Dark Gravity. You have a daughter, or just boy?
I have a daughter and 2 boys.
Fuck me, man. They're 16.
Well, see, me and my wife are so laid back. Our house stayed packed. My daughter was a cheerleader all through high school, and it was ridiculous.
When we built this house, we built the basement to be, we got pool table, theater. I mean, it's so the kid. I'd rather have them come here, so I know where my kids are, But now that they're here and there's
you won't go.
I'm like, ugh. So I'll be right back.
Hey guys. Are you still liking your Chris Riggs, buddy?
Oh yeah, it's. I mean, to me, the knife is great. I know some people don't like it because it's not on bearings and it's not fidgety, but I mean, I like different knives for different reasons. I like a lot, and maybe because my age and I've been around knives so long that at one point I can remember you couldn't buy knives with bearings. So, I remember when they first started up with the IKBS and how everybody was making a big deal about how smooth they were. But I mean, that's the thing is, I was sitting out here playing with this the other day, and it's discontinued and mine's de-assisted, but it's still, I took the spring out of it, and it works just fine. but I also prefer, the thumb open knives. So, but I mean, I love, the Chris Reeve. I love us. I don't know. It's the different feel of, the phosphor bronze washers when they're really, really smooth and broke in nice. And, the knife is, of course, Chris Reeves, this one had to be smoothed out. I mean, but it's a ZT and it didn't cost nowhere near what is it? A fifth of the price, of that knife cost a fifth of the price of the Chris Reeves. So, I mean, I had to get it polished up by playing with it. But, I mean, I love it.
That's one thing I've noticed about the Strider SNG is at first it had lock stick, stuff that I just thought was normal, but it's really broken in to where you don't even feel that.
Say, mine never really had lock stick. Every now and then it would make just the very, very slightest tick sound when you would go to unlock it, which I guess technically is lock stick, but it didn't do it every time. And it only did it when I flicked it really, really hard, which kind of like made the lock slide over further. Right. Or if I used it to do something where I squeezed it hard and pushed that lock bar over, like if I was cutting real heavy cardboard with it.
You were bearing down?
Yeah, where I would bear down and squeeze that lock over. I mean, that's the only time mine ever did it but for normal open and closing that I do with them most of the time, it wouldn't stick then. And it never was lock stick that was difficult to open. Like I say, it would make a little tick sound.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, just a little noise, but you couldn't even really feel it. You would just hear a little. You go to open it or to go to close it, and when you would push, it would just go tick. And, you would get this little audible, sound, and you could feel it too, but it never was any more difficult to unlock than this one is, or the Chris Reeves is, or any of them. It was just made a little sound.
So which is the Chris Reeves? Is it the Design that has dual thumb studs? I know you can buy duals for any one of them.
I know the Design does, and I think the Nkosi does, but I may be wrong about the Nkosi. But I know the Design has dual thumb studs. But I mean I don't never even think about that, but I'm right-handed, so, and if I was left-handed, I would have a left-handed one. The only time I ever think about it is when somebody brings it up. But as far as my personal everyday use and carry and all that, and I have an issue with symmetry. But I very much have an issue with symmetry. And
what bothers you?
It doesn't. But that's what's weird about it is I really do have an issue with symmetry. Like if it's like with a car, it has to have dual exhaust, or one in the middle. It can't have just one exhaust pipe. It can, but it bugs me. With a shirt, I don't like a shirt with one pocket. It has to have two. A jacket, same thing. If it's got one chest pocket, it better have two. Or it better be one that you can't see. Like the little zipper pocket, like I'm wearing a Detroit jacket right now, and it has just a little zipper pocket. I'm fine with that, but if it had a big old flat pocket, it has to have two of them. I have to, like my motorcycle has dual exhaust. Because I have, my brain has to have that balance. I don't know why.
My TRM washers, and I'd put them on my green strop, just my waxy strop, and just lightly roll them in circles instead of Slick 'em All. That was before Slick 'em All days, though, and that seemed to work okay.
I hadn't used Slick 'em All, but I've used the CRK grease, and I've used to polish the washers. I use semi-chrome.
Yeah.
And I've used flits in the past, but I don't have any flits. I have some semi-chrome, and I use it to polish the washers.
I'll tell you what you'd like, and I've got to reach out and get him to send me some more because I'm sending my last ones out today. But I've got some samples. Where did I put that shit? I've got some samples of this Wicked Clean and Wicked Wax.
Yeah.
And the Wicked Clean is very similar to Flitz, except it's just not as gritty.
Yeah. Well, it's thicker too.
Yeah, it's thicker. But it works really well. And it's also a protectant. He first just had this product. Good luck in the giveaway, guys. Has everybody gone up and left a comment in the member giveaway? Because we can pull that one now and then just hang out for a little bit. I don't mind. It's up to y'all. Let's see how many comments we got. Hold on. Let me go back here behind the curtain. YouTube. Javon. I sent Metal Complex a super chat and asked him to check out my channel and give me feedback. And he went and looked at it. Let's see, where is that? All right, so we've got how many comments? We've got 55 comments, guys. Has everybody gotten in?
Why did you ask Pocket? Oh, did you ask Pocket Metal to look at it?
To look at what?
I'm lost as to what you said a second ago. You said...
I forgot what I said earlier, too. I'll pull you, Josh. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to go ahead and make it. So if y'all hadn't registered, Angelo, there's a link at the top of the chat. We're doing a member giveaway. Rating, we've been kind of turned away from because people lose subs. Marco, look at the top of the chat here, and there should be a link to a member video where all you have to do is go in there, like it, and leave a comment. We're going to be giving away the New Breed EMC Clydesdale. Check this little guy out.
Oh, that little screwdriver?
Little bit bar.
Yeah. Big Idea Design?
Mm-hmm. I saw it. I didn't need it, but I figured for my bug out bag, it'd be pretty cool.
Oh, I'm sure it's a great product. When people's sole marketing is to give other people free shit, I don't buy their stuff.
Well, I got respect for them when they fired Lefty. You know about that, don't you?
But they fired Lefty for giving a bad review.
Which I give Lefty credit for that.
Well, see, and that's my issue is I know that Big Idea Design started their whole marketing plan was the same as Huckberry and Thursday Boots and what is that one fucking knife company that overcharges for their fucking DP? Yeah, James Brand. You know, they all had the same marketing ploy, which was I'm going to give these big YouTubers free shit and get them to push my stuff. And, you know, they get free shit, and so they do. And I know a lot of it with like Big Idea Design is probably good stuff. You know, I know that Huckberry makes a lot of good clothes. You know, I believe Thursday's probably a decent fucking boot. I'm sure James Brand is a good fucking knife. You know, but I don't like their marketing system. I don't like sponsored videos.
Yeah, you're going to be swayed if you got something for free.
Right. I don't like
it for free. And I've got one relationship with one company. It's Vosteed, and they'll send me just not the top knives, but just the basic knives for me to give away, to do a review on. They don't say I have to talk nice about it because I didn't like the Corsair very much, but I like the Corgi, I like the Labrador, and I feel like it's a good relationship.
If you're getting one or two items from one or two different companies, that's fine. But if your entire channel is based off of free shit from different companies, then that's where I have an issue with those. It's like, it's purely, basically, you're an advertising channel. And the only people who follow you and blow smoke up your ass in the comments are the people who are fanboys and girls of whatever product you're pushing. And, that's my issue is if I get a bunch of YouTubers that's gotten free shit and all of them say that it's great, I'm not going to buy your products. And I know for a fact that some of them are good products, but I'm still not going to buy your shit just because your system sucks.
And we saw it play out with Maddie and that Rosecraft blade knife. Remember that? All right, let me change this.
I know of it. I kind of know what happened, but I don't know all the ins and outs. I just know that it didn't go over.
Everybody who just talked about how great it was, and so he got it in, and just absolutely hated it.
But that's the thing is that there's knives that I absolutely hate that you would love, and that's okay. And so it doesn't necessarily mean there's anything wrong with the item. It's that I don't like it. There's a lot of shit in this world I don't like,
And that's what's great about the community, I think, is because there's so many different opinions. There's shit Kevin's had on his table the last couple of weeks that I wouldn't have any desire to have.
Yeah, that's all the fidget toys that people get into. I don't like fidget toys, but so if I did a review of one, I'd be like, this is fucking stupid. But that's just me because I don't like it.
We're going to do 15. We're going to do Wheel of Names.
And it wouldn't matter if you sent it to me for free. I'm still not going to start liking them just because you sent it to me for free. Now, I might tell you whether it's well built or, whether it's a piece of shit, but I'm still not going to like it.
All right, kids.
Yeah.
The Wheel of Death. We got 56 of y'all in there. Y'all ready? Good luck. 15 seconds, because the drama's got to be just...
Hey, I'm cold.
Brother Pedro, the main man, Armstrong. Pedro.
Congratulations, Pedro.
Congratulations, Pedro. I'm going to drop my email in here. I think I've got you, but just send me an email and I'll get you set out tomorrow. Congratulations. And then I'll drop my email. Boom. Right here. So I'm about to move my dad, I think, to assisted living. His girlfriend moved to assisted living on Tuesday across the street.
Mm-hmm.
He's poor pitiful.
Which one are you moving to?
Well, we were originally looking at Fleming Farms, which is right down Drake, but she moved out to Hampton Cove, out over 431.
Yeah.
So they've been together for 20 years, been across the street neighbors, so we feel like he'll probably be more receptive to be out there with her.
Yeah.
And she's in an independent living. He could almost do independent living, but he really needs a little closer eye.
Well, I don't know the one in Hampton Cove, or is y'all gonna look? Does the one in Hampton Cove have the middle ground that where you kind of live in your own apartment, but they come and check on you like every day? and you got
that's what she's
like a
doing.
nurse's station.
Yeah, they call that independent living because, like, Janice has a 4-bedroom or 4-room apartment on a ground floor, like a little ranch house, and she was able to take her corgi out there. That was one of the reasons she wasn't going to go, because she wasn't going to leave Sam, her dog.
Yeah.
So, as far as I'm concerned, like I told my brother tonight, we could just drop Dad out there to shack with her. He almost got kicked out of his memory care facility 2 years ago because they caught her in there with him.
Well, I know that there's some, like one of the, nursing home assisted living type places over here, close to where I grew up. They actually have where you can have those, row houses, they're condos or whatever. And you can live in one of those, but they'll still, like the nurses still do walk arounds or whatever. And,
take your vitals and make sure you got your meds the way you're supposed to, because that's the hardest thing to manage with him now. And now that she's not across the street, he doesn't really get into, he really doesn't get into doing anything anymore. He doesn't really want to get out of bed. He has a lady that comes and checks on him. They go to the grocery store, but he just doesn't have any motivation. It's almost like he's just laying down now.
Well, it's, I hate, there's no other way to put it. He has nothing to live for.
Right. And he even says that.
That's, my wife is part of what I live for. My kids is part of what I live for. So.
Exactly. The point that, I think if nothing else, the fact that his mind has gone so fast, that's a coping mechanism for him not to worry about that shit. To him, it's just on and off. But yeah, it's a trip, man.
Well, I'm sure it's lonely. At his point, that's kind of something to live for. So,
but what's wild?
I would be looking to get him in there too.
What's wild about it is when we first moved him to, because for a year and a half until COVID, he was at a memory care facility, and he got totally adapted there, because that's the hardest thing, is getting them from one setting to a next. So after he was hospitalized out there, he started going to lunch every day. He started, almost a personality came out, because there were people around for him to kind of structure his day around, right? Whether it was just going to play cards or whatever it was.
It stimulates his brain.
Exactly. The same thing would be true if he got out to a place where there are other people, because hell, they know half the fucking people there. Both Dad and Janice grew up, were born here. Were born in Memphis, moved here when they were 3 or 4. So I'm sure most of the issues out there. Yeah, Greg, the bad thing is my brother and I have to take his old ass to the doctor to get tests. And every time we do that, the doctor calls us in the office and kind of gives us the guilt trip about he shouldn't be living by himself, blah, blah, blah. We've taken his car away. We've done all this shit. We're just trying to give him a quality of life and keep him safe. And then the doctor will come out while Fred and I are getting ready to leave. He's like, look, he's asking for 60 Viagra. I don't know if his heart can take it. We're like, Doc, give him the fucking Viagra. He's 84 years old. If that's what he's asking for, give it to him. My brother and I argued because my dad was
let the motherfucker die happy. Goddamn.
Well, my dad was going through some anxiety when we first took his car away, and Fred tried to get him on some medicine that I'm on, this antidepressant medicine. I said, Fred, fuck no. He doesn't need something that's going to take a while to get in his system with his other 12 meds to see how they react. He needs Xanax. And Fred's like, oh, Tanya had a real hard time with Xanax. His wife, I was like, dude, I was addicted to Xanax. Dad can take Xanax from now till the day he dies.
That's what I was going to say. When you're at that point, when you're 84 years old, it doesn't matter if it's addictive or not. If it fucking helps you, it helps you.
If you're taking it once a day and it's taking the edge off and letting you sit in your chair and read the mail that you read every day that's from like 10 years ago, more power to him.
It's just like a buddy of mine, he's passed away now. His name was Jack. And he was a World War II veteran. And he was like 80-something years old and smoked weed. And everybody was all fucking tore up that he smoked weed. I'm like, he's 80 fucking years old and survived World War II and Korea. I think he needs, if he wants to, and this was 20 years ago. This was back in the 90s when Jack was alive and passed away and all that kind of stuff. This isn't You know, he was, you know, an older guy, and everybody was like all up in arms that he smoked weed. And I'm like, he's 80 something fucking years old, almost 90 years old, survived 2 fucking wars. If he wants to smoke a little fucking weed, let him.
I was watching
You know,
a thing on YouTube today. I happened to be flipping around, and the title got me. It was this guy who's got a gun channel, not one that I recognized, but he was talking about how 36 states have legalized or decriminalized marijuana, and he talked about the problem with the federal gun paperwork. Because one of the questions there is, do you partake
yeah.
in illegal drugs, including marijuana? And you have to do yes or no. And most people put no. That's what I put. You just put no. But if you're in a state and it's legal and you put yes, legally the feds can still say that. Now Texas has passed a law where they can't do that, but where they can say no, you can't have guns because you checked a box that was fraudulent. No, it's legal in my state. Well, it's not legal in the country.
Yeah, that's the thing a lot of people don't realize is on a federal level, and say the federal government has the right to regulate marijuana whether you like it or not because it falls under interstate commerce.
Sure.
Which is a federal jurisdiction under the Constitution. You know, like I said, that's like it or not, that's just the fact. And the way they make marijuana illegal was not by just saying marijuana is technically legal, you just have to have a tax stamp. And they don't provide tax stamps for marijuana, you know, and that's the same. I mean, but unless you pass a constitutional amendment, then you can make it illegal. But the federal government can still come and bust you in Colorado, and they do it on a regular basis.
They do.
They
They
bust.
go after
They
the
go and bust these big vendors, these big retail stores that sell weed in those states. That was some guy that my wife is friends with on Facebook that he started selling it when it first became legal in Colorado. He was one of the first ones with a whatever distribution center, whatever the fuck they call them. And he just got out of prison because he had to do 3 years in federal prison for selling weed.
That's insane,
You know,
dude. I mean,
because it's legal in Colorado, but the DEA said, you know. And so that's, if if it's, but the thing is, you know, I'm also the type of person, I don't believe the federal government has a right for you to fill out a piece of paper to buy a gun that you constitutionally have the right to own.
agree.
You know, because it's the Second Amendment, you know, and the purpose of the Second Amendment, according to the Federalist Papers, is for us to not hunt. It is for us to protect ourselves from the government.
If ever
And so the government
becomes destructive of these ends, it's the right of the people to alter and abolish it.
Yeah. You know, and everybody wants to say, well, the problem is your M16's not, or your AR-15's not going to stop a tank. Nope. I ain't got to worry about the tank because the dude driving it's going to be on my side.
Yeah, exactly.
I've been in the military. 99% of them's going to be on my side. So I ain't worried about that tank. You know, they're not going to use the military to take over the country. They're going to use the police.
They're going to use the police and they're going to use the banking system.
Yep. And that's what they're already doing. Because now all of our money is electronic. All it takes is a flip of a switch and you're broke. Everything you've got's gone. You know, because most people don't have stockpiles of silver, gold, full food, antibiotics. I don't. I mean, I got a little bit of silver and gold floating around, but I ain't got a stockpile. You know, I don't have a stockpile of antibiotics. Those are actually commodities that you can sell and trade. I ain't got a bunch of narcotics either.
I would think narcotics would be the way to go in terms of selling.
Oh, well, yeah, but I'm saying that, you know, if the government ever flips a switch and creates problems, narcotics won't be that big of a deal, but antibiotics will.
True.
Because our bodies are so dependent on antibiotics now that we can't live without them.
Yeah, but there are a lot of us that were or are dependent on the other. And I remember when we lost power here for 2 weeks, that was critical for a lot of people because we couldn't get money out.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, when the April 11th tornadoes hit, back,
Knocked that power station.
yeah, and took out the power station, and the entire city was shut down. I mean, you couldn't get gas, you didn't have electricity, you couldn't get money, even if you could get to the Dollar General. If you didn't have cash, yeah, if you didn't have cash, you wasn't buying no hot dogs at the Dollar General. You know, people were having to empty their deep freezes and cook out all the meat, you know, just have giant neighborhood cookouts because their deep freeze wouldn't run. And so all the, you know, meat they had in their deep freeze, all the deer, fish, you know, beef, pork, everything they had these giant cookouts in the neighborhoods because they didn't have power.
We were over in South Huntsville, and we had a little tribe of people that were on the swim team. And this one family had a deep freezer. We all took our food over there, even though it wasn't cooling anymore, but it was enough to hold the cold in, and we'd cook over there every night. And for some reason, I guess because mine was gas, my hot water heater stayed on. So about 20 people showered at my house. And it was this little tribe of kids. And I mean, the kids at the time were like 10 or 11. They'd go down by the swamp, by the pool, and they would make mud pies. They'd come back covered in mud. And, you know, they'd be there to take a shower. I'm like, what the fuck? You know, here we are roughing it. And y'all are coming back like little cake people.
Yeah. But no, that's the thing is we got to be worried about the power switch. But I don't want to get into all my conspiracy theory shit.
Me neither, but it's scary shit right now. It's definitely weird shit.
If you want to scare yourself, you can go on YouTube and there's an audio book or the book 1 second after.
That's a great book.
Yeah, the book's great too. The book's great too. And
I listened to the book on tape.
Yeah, I read it and then I listened to it again. I started listening to it and it's been a few years since I read it. I don't remember how long, but 3, 4, 5 years. And at work, when I'm working, I'm by myself a lot of times, and so I just put in a set of earbuds and listen to it. And each section's like 4 or 5 hours long, or 6 hours long, or something like that. So that makes the day go by. And then I started listening to part 2. I don't know what the second book's called, but yeah, it's based off of a nuclear war and an EMP from a nuclear war, but it can also happen from a solar flare.
My buddy works for the power company here locally, and his position is protected. Like, they can't give out his name, his address, like that. And because he's in charge of all the like power outages, crap like that. And I just asked him, I'm like, what about like an EMP or anything? And he's like, he just said, we're fucked. You go back to the Stone Age. And he wouldn't really talk about it. I said, so there's no kind of protection, that kind of, and he really didn't want to talk about it. And that
the thing with it is such an issue that nobody wants to talk about it. Yeah. The government doesn't, because you're talking about something that if it got a foothold and people got scared, it would destroy the economy, because everybody would start running from and demanding, fixes and this, that, and the other. And the truth of the matter is you can't protect your cell phone from an EMP. You can't protect your laptop. You can't protect your car. I mean, you can protect the individual items by putting them in a Faraday cage. But the tower's still gone for your cell phone. Yeah,
that's what people don't get. Like, you buy those little, they're like, oh, put your cell phone in the bag. And you don't think, oh, wow, my phone will work.
But the tower does.
Yeah, you don't think bigger. You're not going to be able to text anybody.
Yeah. And it's the same thing. You might be able to put your laptop in a Faraday cage, but it's still not going to work because there's the system, the network that it works off of is not going to exist. And you're not going to have power. You're not even going to have power lines. They're going to melt. And that's the thing a lot of people don't realize is you can do all of these prepper things for the only thing that you can really do is get a 1950s ham radio. That's the best thing to get. And buy you a generator, buy a shitload of fucking extension cords, and put them all in a Faraday cage. And keep them from burning up. But then you're fucked because once you run out of gas, the generator's not going to work. So now you got to build yourself a wind farm, or you got to build yourself a solar farm. And if you live up north, then you're screwed on that. Because a lot of northern areas and areas in the Appalachian Mountains, Rocky Mountains, don't get enough sunlight, for a long enough period of time. I mean, it's a mess. That's why you don't want, because my dad worked for TVA down here, and, that was one of the things that they had to deal with down here. And
just different catastrophic type of model.
Well, it's literally with that is it takes a different kind of catastrophic model to a whole nother level. Because like when the tornadoes hit here or Katrina hit, New Orleans, there's other areas of the country that are still fine and they can come to your rescue. Right. With the EMP, there's nowhere. Everything is gone. You're literally in a nanosecond going from what we have right now to horse and buggy. You're literally right back in the 1800s, actually more like the 1700s, because we ain't got the shit they had in the 1800s. We don't have water wheels and steam power and things of that nature anymore. So you're literally back in the 1700s where you have nothing industrial.
That's one of Joe Rogan's big fears, that we're going to have this big setback. He thinks that's what happened back in Egypt, that we had all this technology that got lost.
Well, no, that's fucking stupid. Because if it was the technology was 2,000 and 3,000 years old, we would be able to find it archaeologically, and it's just not there. Now, you could say that the academia was lost, and we would be much further ahead because the library in Alexandria, or whatever it was, the library that was in Egypt, is now in the fucking Mediterranean Sea, and all the shit that was inside of it was lost. All the knowledge and things of that nature that was collected there. But
don't you think the pyramids? I mean, I don't see how they were. There was a picture I saw today. Let me see if I can find it.
Oh hell, we're not going into aliens built the fucking pyramids, are we?
How do you explain?
Just because you don't know how it's done doesn't mean somebody couldn't do it.
I agree. I'm not saying that I got a God complex. I'm just saying.
No. What I'm saying is your grandfather was a part of the shit that sent man to fucking Mars, which is some kind of damn trigonometry to fucking do. Because you have to launch at a certain time, at a certain angle, at a certain speed to be able to hit your target. Just because I don't know how to do that math doesn't mean somebody else didn't. And that's how all that works is. Just because we don't know for sure how to build it doesn't mean it couldn't have been built.
There was a picture of it like towering over the cities, poking through the clouds, a picture I saw earlier, just of one of the Egypt pyramids.
Yeah, the giant pyramid, the big one, I mean, yeah, it's fucking huge. It's insanely huge. I forgot what it is, 300 or 400 feet high or some shit. It's crazy.
And this shit there's no way it could have been made with what they had back then. Because this is all
they had a lot of fucking time to do shit. It's just like the guys in prison. Guys in prison can dig fucking holes out and underneath the ground. I mean, Pablo Escobar did it a couple of years ago. All it takes is time and
build that for their whole generations, I would guess.
And it would be, it would take decades to build some of them. But when you're a pure kingdom, I don't know. I just don't get where everybody thinks that humans are incapable.
I think
of doing things that we've done in the past.
it could all be tinfoil hat stuff, but I think a lot of it's the way it lines up to solstices and shits like that, right?
Okay, but anybody can go and figure out the solstice. I mean, anybody can go and figure out the constellations. When you so that's the thing is you live in the middle of a big old city of 500,000 people. You can't see the sky.
True.
But like I've been out in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean and out in the middle of the Pacific Ocean where there's no light for thousands of miles. And I promise you, there's a shitload of stuff up there you can see. And so all it is, mimicry. They, are able to sit and figure out and look at it because they could see it. They didn't have light pollution as we have today. So they could see the stars. And so they could build stuff that aligned with the stars. You can see the sun come up. All you got to do is build the building. And, on the day of the solstice, you mark it. This is where I need the light to come through. That's all it takes is putting a stick in the ground.
That's
and I mean, I'm just saying, you put a wall up, you look at where the sun comes up on the summer solstice, stick a stick in the ground, and that's where you need to build your window for it to shine on. And you draw a line across from it, and that's where your sun shines on whatever your amulet is and sets off the Indiana Jones traps. It's
Dr. Jones. Dr. Jones.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing is it's a lot of it is people just don't understand. So it's magic or aliens. If it's Joe Rogan, it's aliens. But just because you don't understand it doesn't mean it doesn't work. There's
a great, not to change the subject, but along the same subject. Chris Angel is a guest on Steve-O's little podcast and gives us some secrets. How some of his most famous illusions were done.
And that's the thing is he made fucking elephants disappear and shit. And it's like, just because I don't understand it doesn't mean it's not real. I don't understand how magic works. I think it's funny. Scotch is over there just steadily flicking knives for the visitors while we're talking about random ass fucking aliens.
Keep the people entertained.
Oh, I'm sure they're entertained listening to mine and John's dumb asses talk about aliens.
I'm going to have to roll a second to go get my gordita and get back.
And don't think for 1 second I don't believe in aliens. I've got more damn vintage alien t-shirts than just about probably anybody because I love some damn aliens.
I realized Chris Angel and what's his name? David Blaine had so much beef.
Well, I mean, they're competition.
Well, I never saw him as like the first time I saw David Blaine, he was doing street magic where he'd walk up to people in New York. And like the one trick I'll never forget is he tells her to pick a card and he throws the cards and the one card's stuck on the other side of the window where the people are eating and it's just sticking out on the other side of the glass. I'm like, how in the fuck did you do that?
Because he's a magician. And I mean, I'm the same way. I don't understand how they do it, but I don't think it's, some supernatural power. And maybe I'm wrong. But
if you want to go down a rabbit hole, which you probably don't, there's for some reason my YouTube feed, probably because I go down rabbit holes, has been hit with this Aleister Crowley and this demon that he allegedly summoned back in the 50s, closamine or something, and they talk about it. Fucking weird shit, dude.
Well, the cool thing about Aleister Crowley is he was a pervert.
Sex magic, baby. And you know who was one of his disciples? Who lived on his ranch with him?
Oh, I don't.
Ron Hubbard was part of Aleister Crowley's sect before he ever started Scientology.
You need to stop right now, John. I don't need to be going to your funeral because if you fucking cross Scientology, they're going to come after you and they're going to kill you.
I can take
Tom Cruise when we were little.
Tom Cruise himself will come do it. Mission Impossible.
I would love for that.
Do you remember those commercials on TV when we were little for his book?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, Dianetic.
I didn't know what it was back then, but those commercials were on all the time.
And the way the DNA spun around, it was a great commercial. I mean, I ordered that book. I've got it in my house. I never read it.
Hey, but he never read it. John is very, very susceptible to good advertising.
Is something beeping? Do you guys have a smoke alarm beeping? I don't think that beeping is coming to my house.
It may be wind chimes.
Oh, okay.
I got wind chimes hanging over there, and every now and then they make a little tingling sound.
Guys, I've got to get back. I'm going to Taco Bell. I'm making the long run. I'm making the long run to Taco Bell tonight. I
didn't even realize it was 10 o'clock.
It's not. It's just turned 10 o'clock. But if they close at 11, it'll take me 20 minutes to get there.
Peace. See you next week.
Get some rest, brother.
All right.
Y'all have a good night. I hope your butt feels better, Scott.
It was. I got it from the bottom and the throat.
And always, please look out for the guy.
I just hope they didn't use the same tube.
Look out for the guy or gal to your right.
I got a discount.
Look out for each other. Go forward with love in your heart, and always choose debate, not hate. I love you all.
Good night, everybody.